Yeah. What it do? Yeah, it's your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY back with another one of that Repent or Die podcast. For those that don't know who I am him, Junns the NBIC. Giving all praise and glory to the heavenlies, for they are worthy to be what? To be praised. Last but not least, I want to give a shout out to all you guys for your continuous support, leaving all that feedback, the positive, the negative, all things is respected and needed because it allows me to do what I do best, and that is to continue keeping my foot on you heathens, you Hebrews, and the newly installed Heathenites next. Round of applause for that. My apologies again for my lateness. Got home, um, had a brief, in-depth conversation about autism and evaluations with the Wiz, so I got sidetracked. Um, Definitely today was a beautiful day here in the NY. I got a chance to meet one of my clients and also a potential client. Shout out to her. Um, Definitely want to get the ball rolling with her. Um, as for me, man, my day is always phenomenal. Worked out, took my son to the park, had him running around. Had a great conversation with my brother, man. Hey, man, shout out to you. Appreciate all the wisdom and knowledge you always display. Um, Carry yourself in a very cordial, militant, straightforward, no game playing type of vibe, and real man them all got no choice but to respect that, right? Um, Outside of that, man, my apologies. I didn't give you guys a weekly broadcast, mainly for the fact that I've been tired. Um, I didn't like how the numbers was looking like um on the last one. No excuses, but it didn't motivate me to bring forth a broadcast. I decided to just come out on the live today and talk my talk. Um, Definitely. Oh, I will be doing a live right after this on Rumble, and I do want to touch on the Joe left behind it dropping out of the presidential race, and also speak about the so-called glitch that has happened nationwide, especially here in New York. I can't talk about it on these people's platform on YouTube for various reasons. Not even gonna entertain that. I'm gonna go take it to Rumble. So if you not follow me on Rumble, the link is in the bio in the description. Please tune in, support it, leave all the necessary feedbacks, and let's just have these conversations, these talks that needs to be had. Right? Cool. Now on tonight's broadcast, I had to bring it out again. Um, and before I even talk about that, my Wiz told me that you guys is over here trying to come in on my time slots. I see what y'all doing. That means that I'm still on your mind. That's good. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, you cannot hold these people hostage any longer. And brothers and sisters is gonna walk away into why I'm talking about what I'm talking now. The main cause of black people mental illness is because of religion. We are mentally ill because of religion. All religion. Christianity, Judaism, Hebrewism, Islam, Hinduism, which is another form of Judaism. These are the things that's causing us to be mentally ill. You have to be mentally ill if you think that change that's going to come upon us is going to come by fasting and praying. You are mentally ill if you think somebody that doesn't carry your complexion is going to save you. You are mentally ill if you think that the other nationalities are more superior than you, you are mentally ill, and you need to be evaluated. And you need to be not just evaluated, but a lot of you black people need to be thrown in certain institutions and stay there for a long period of time until this mental illness is addressed. And shout out to Polo Lumgada, a very wise brother from the Holy Land. And he was saying some things, and I was watching it early. I said, "Damn, I gotta talk about this." So I definitely I put 3 videos. I'm gonna play after I finish saying what I'm saying, and I want you guys to understand that the reason why we're not elevating to the next level. Let me say the reason why. The reason why I'm even bringing this up. There are 6 racial classes right now as we speak. 6. And these 6 that I'm going to mention are the classes that has the most resources, minerals, goods, gold, etc. Now, number 1 on that list are the Arabs. Number 2 on that list is the Chinese. Number 3 on that list is your Jewish powers. Number 4 on that list is your average day Caucasians, Europeans, white, whatever you want to call them. That's number 4. Number 5 on that list is Hispanics. And last but not least, the last race that has any ownership of minerals, goods, and resources is black people. Now, how is black people at the bottom of the totem pole when black people come from the very land every single nationality I just mentioned is capitalizing off? Now, the question that you got to then ask yourself is, what's going on that we have all these resources, but yet we are at the bottom of the totem pole? And the answer to that is simple: religion. Religion has divided households. Religion has made brothers and sisters look at each other like useless, unworthy, evil, wicked. This is what religion is doing to our people. Religion has created us to be an occultish mentality and carry occultish behavior. Oh, he's not keeping the commandments, I can't rock with him. Oh, he don't believe in Allah, I can't rock with him. He don't accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, I can't rock with him. You are an antichrist, you're not my homie. Mind you, prior to us even knowing anything about an antichrist, anything about the Biblos, prior to that, we was all put in ships like a can of sardine, being shipped into various locations. But when religion came on the scene, religion had to alter your mind. Religion had to become a foundation of your very existence. So now the reason why you're mentally ill is because you don't even realize that religion is the cause of your downfall. You don't even realize that religion has made you mentally ill to the point that you don't even think that you're ill. That you think that change is going to come because we just got to keep the commandments. And the creators is going to miraculously do something. And all we got to do is just sit back and watch, observe, and wait. Because the word says that my works don't come back void. And yes, I say these things all the time. But like I told you before, I realized the reason for the reason for my lack of growth is because I still carry this religious foundation, even in this awakening, so called. I still carry this religious foundation. You are mentally ill. Let me show you how mentally ill you are and how mentally ill I was. That even though we read the word and we see what the word says, we see the word saying things that you will be sold unto your enemies and that no man shall redeem you. Even though we're told these things, yet here we are in 2024 still looking for these same individuals to provide us with intel about ourselves. And shout out to the brother that I gave a shout out earlier today. You know what he said to me? He said, "Do you know what the purpose of religion is?" I mean, I know. But I said, "Nah, tell me." He says, "Religion was something that was created to control individuals with criminal tendencies." Listen to what I'm saying. When I say criminal tendencies, a criminal is somebody that will go against the status quo. A criminal is somebody that will go against the laws that was created by man. Hence, you, black man, you, black woman, you, brown man, you, brown woman, and all the children that comes along with that. And when he said that to me, I said, "Yo, bro, that's the same thing I've been saying, but I don't say it in that sense. I didn't see it in that sense, but now it gives clarity now. It's clarified now." I said, religion was created to do what? Neutralize and civilize victims. See, I put the word victim because we are still victims this very day. We are still being violated this very day. Where my man said, "Nah, we're not playing the victim role no more. We are criminals." Because our ignorance has overseed our righteousness. And because we have mental illness and we refuse to challenge and acknowledge the fact that we got mental illness, that we got psychological issues, that we got spiritual disconnect. Like niggas really thinking that they're connected to a higher source because of the religion that they participate in. And not knowing that religion was created to do everything that I just mentioned. And it's the only way you're going to really see that is literally stepping away and removing yourself from these religions. And I'm starting to see just based on characteristics of individuals, how they act, their viewpoints and how they see things. I come to realize that one of the main tools that's used to keep us in a state of confusion, one of the main things to keep us in a state of confusion and lack of understanding is because of religion. It's because of the books that we're reading. It's because what religion has done, religion has made us believe that everything that comes from the enemy is right, because religion teaches you to forgive, forget, and love thy enemy. This is what religion has done. And until we remove ourselves from that, until we start educating ourselves, until we start to realize that everything that was black, and that's another thing too the brother told me today. He says, let me tell you something. Anything that's benefiting for you as a slave, they're going to always demonize it as bad. And he said to me, he said, the greatest creation ever created by the Romans, which is more greater than the religion in itself, was monotheism. He said monotheism was Europeans' greatest creation, to have every single person worship one God, their God. And not only worship one God, their God, but when you give worship to them, to him, you're going to refer to him as a he, because they put he in the Bible. They're going to make you believe that all you have to do is just replace the name. This is what the Hebrews was doing. This is what the Hebrews was doing. We're going to replace the name with something else. This is what they was doing. But yet, replace the name, remove certain things, remove the Jesus, but the foundation of it all must stay intact. So when you see brothers say, give all praise and glory to the Father, just know that you're doing the Roman Catholic, because you don't understand that the reason why they put that there is they want you to give praise to the ringleader of all religion, and that is the Pope. That's why you don't find the word Father in the Old Testament. You don't find that there. But here we are in 2024, and we're still giving praise. All praise and glory to our Father. So what happened to your mother? Who's teaching you monotheism? Monotheism was never practiced in Africa prior to the slavery and the recolonizing of the continent. And the brothers that can tap into multiple realms, speak to multiple what you guys will call spirits or deities, they tell you is evil. And I ask brothers and sisters over and over again, who's the one telling us that these things are evil? Who's telling you this? And if it's not from somebody that don't look like me and you, I can't take that word. And that's another thing. I can't take that word for the end all be all. And another thing my brother told me too, he says, we are so mentally ill and we have been reprogrammed so bad that if knowledge and information does not come from well-renowned places like the Oxford and this and that, Harvard, if it doesn't come from those places, you subconsciously already programmed to reject it. All taught behavior. And when he said that to me, I said, yo, bro, this is the same thing I talk about all the time. I had somebody tell me, because I'm standing on black empowerment, black culture, black understanding, and that I'm not going to let outsiders tell me what family members of mine's been doing for years. Because I'm not going to allow them to do so, this particular individual felt like I was going off. When this individual don't know, by you saying that is you saying that you don't embrace being black. You don't embrace African culture. You don't embrace who you are. Why you don't embrace who you are? Because religion has created self-hate amongst black people. So when a brother like myself come out and say, nah, I don't believe that. Let me not say the word I don't believe that. That's not true. That's not true. I'm being met with, he's going off. He has been overtaken by spirits. And there's a lot of things me and the brother spoke about. I can't talk about it on the air. He said that himself. And he's absolutely right. But the greatest weapon ever used upon black people was religion. The greatest invention by Europeans was monotheism and religion. The Bible itself tells you that many shall come saying, I am Christ, and will gather brothers and sisters and lead the very elect to their demise. But there's also the agents that will say, you see what this brother Junior is saying? You see what he's saying? You gotta watch out for him because he don't seem to be in the right spirit. You know, he's going off. Who told you what I'm saying is going off? Who's feeding you this ideology? Because it's not the black people. See, black people, the real black people, gonna always stand on black, no matter what it is, good, bad, or indifferent. However, we're gonna always stick together. And that's what I want brothers and sisters to understand. And I'm gonna show you the damage that these people has done to us. The damage that these people has done to us, even in the continent. So when you hearing stories that's going on in the continent, you gotta always remember that slavery and colonization, they both are horrific things, but colonization is 10 times worse than slavery. Can you imagine being in your house? This whole house is yours. Your mom's left it for you. Your grandfather. This been a family house for years. You done took care of it. You nourished it. You when things broke, you fixed it. You did the necessary things that was needed to ensure that this house stayed preserved. And out of nowhere, people come, tell you, you can't live like this no more. True word. You get kicked out, thrown out. Now you from afar, and you're watching individuals take food from that same house you was living in. Take food from that same garden your great-great-great-grandparents was putting together. Seeing all of that. Then tell you, you can't sleep in this bed no more. You got to sleep outside. And you gotta spend the remainders of your years, and you get married, and you have children, and your children and yourself gotta watch somebody sleeping in your bed, messing with your head. That's more severe than being put into slavery, because you can get kidnapped, robbed, thrown into jail. You know, we comfortable with doing our prison sentence. You know what I'm saying? That's normal. But being violated at your house, being violated at your home, being violated out of your community, watching people literally come into your space and said, "This is mine's." Coming into your space and say things like, "I don't like that name. What you guys said this name was? Oh yeah, no, we're not calling it that. We're gonna call this place Johannesburg. This is mine's." Which one is more severe? The reason why I'm telling you this is because individuals in that land are more psychologically destroyed than we are. Not to mention the lack of resources that these brothers and sisters got access to. So a lot of times, there's brothers in the Holy Land right now that looks forward to my teachings. It's a breath of fresh air for them to realize, like, damn, I've been living in the Holy Land my entire life, and I never knew that. Shout out to my brother for telling me this. But the people is there don't even have understanding about that. The lack of resources. Remember, we're number 6. We're number 6, but we're number 1 in spending. $2.2 trillion annually. That's how much we spend every year. Every year. Even through a pandemic. Even through a recession. Even through inflation. Let me play these videos, man, because I'm gonna end up going off all day, all night, and then you guys are just gonna end up going nuts, man. Let me play this. I hope you guys is ready. Move myself here. This is what religion has done to our people. Listen.
Diseases in Africa, true, but there are diseases everywhere.
Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. I don't want to hear nothing. Don't hit me with no copyright. This is for fair use, educational purposes. We just trying to edify. Let us watch.
Diseases in Africa, true, but there are diseases everywhere. So let it be understood in that context. Today, I dare say that one of the greatest problems that bedevils Africa is religion. It is one of the things that debilitate.
See, the righteous ones, the freedom fighters, the chosen ones, the elect ones, the one that was breeded to do this, always gonna think the same. Always gonna have like minds. But what religion is going to do is make you look at individuals like myself and see us as bad fruits, or not being in the right spirit, or being overtaken by demons, knowing that the only demon that has overtaken any person that causes to have mental illness came with your religion. And now that I have separated myself, I broke the shackles, man. I took it off. I said, nah. Now I see what Marcus Garvey was talking about. Now I see what the elder is talking about. Now I see what all the freedom fighters, I see it now. But the difference between me and them is I know the Creator's name. The Creators. I know the name. And that's why I have over 100 and something thousand. See, the Creators is setting up the stage. Like I told you, something amazing is going to happen. And I'm going to expound more on it on the Rumble. But something amazing is happening. A worldwide phenomenon is taking place. And when you see the OG say things like this is just a reminder to let you know that your brother is on the right path. Let us continue.
Africa now finds ourselves in a space where many believe, wrongly in my view, that all our problems will be solved through prayer and fasting. Wrong. The divine instruction.
Mental illness. Again, prayer and fasting. That's all you're told to do. Even now, even in this truth, even though you're calling on Sunini, not Nini, prayer and fasting is what you're destined to do. Let me ask you a question. Did Noah just pray and fast? He was working, right? He built the ark, right? Was Abram praying and fasting? He was working, right? Was Moses praying and fasting? He was working, right? Was Akob praying and fasting? He was working, right? So why all of a sudden everybody believes that in order for change to come and restore order, all you got to do is fast and pray? Who's telling you this? Let the OG speak, because when I speak it, I'm the bad guy. I don't know what I'm talking about. Here's a man with more years and experience. Here's another elder. Let's listen.
And as I understand it was, go ye and subdue the earth, and by the sweat of thy brow thou shalt eat. There is no shortage in Kenya, even those of you who came from outside. We have seen many crusades in billboards in Nairobi, Kenya. When you travel across Africa, there is no shortage of individuals going by different names. Prophet, prophetess. And yet those of you who are students of theology will be told that the age of prophethood ended. Some say with John the Baptist, some say with Micah, but they are prophetess and prophets. There is no shortage of apostles running around Africa.
Listen carefully.
Producing rabbits out of hats in the name of fake miracles. There is no shortage of them. That is part of the African problem, but we do not want to confront it, particularly you theologians. You do not want to confront it.
That's also including you black people worldwide. You don't want to confront it. You don't want to confront it. You don't want to admit that you have a mental issue. You don't want to admit that you got a psychological disorder. You don't want to admit that. We still want to point fingers. We still pointing fingers at each other, saying things like, yo, you off, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. That's not what's going to happen. This is what religion has done. Meanwhile, these people is in your land every single day, taking all your resources. But yeah, we still arguing. This is the slave mentality. This is what religion has done. Let the niggers argue about things that they have no control over. Let them worry about things like religion. Let them do that. Let them go through all these books and let them read every story to show them, like, yeah, now they at a point like, yeah, we ham. Yeah, we know this. Yeah, we did that. But you're not going to do nothing. Just sit still and relax. Keep waiting. Oh, yeah, you said Sunini, right? Let's see how far Sunini is going to help us. Let's see how far he's going to help you. Let's see. Not knowing that it's an obligation, not just to expect the creators to do something, but to do something in the process to allow the creators to say, you know what, it's time for me to go save these individuals. But the reason why we're not there is because we don't want to admit that we are mentally ill. And shout out to the big bro, man, the wisdom that this big bro was telling me today. He said this, and I'm gonna play the video after. He says, you know how you can tell somebody's mentally ill? You want to know how we mentally ill? because you know you mentally ill when you are not studying to survive or reading or gaining knowledge to survive. You gaining knowledge to hide the fact that you're suffering from mental illness and show the people that you are intelligent, knowing that your intelligence is irrelevant because your irrelevancy is not going to bring you back to supremacy. You understand? It's irrelevant. And when he said that, all I could do was shake my head. And I got them written down. I'm definitely gonna be doing some podcasts with those titles. Definitely. Because I definitely gotta tap into that. But let us continue.
There is now a theology in Africa of making people feel good without making them good. That is wrong theology. It is
That's the same thing I just told you. We got the teachings now where it's to make you feel good, but not be good. Big difference. This is what religion has done. Let us continue. All in the name of Jesus.
Biblical and is dangerous to Africa. Because the Bible that I read does not say it. The Bible that I read is specific and unequivocal. The Bible that I read also tells me in Matthew 24:24 that in the last day there'll be many Christs. They'll come, and they are coming now, many of them.
Oh, they're here.
They shall work wonders, and that they would.
They are here. They're working wonders. They're working wonders. They are here. Whether they claiming to be Hebrews, whether they claiming to be Bantus, whether they claiming to be anything, they are here. They are here. You want to know how they are here? Because they still are teaching us this religious background. Listen to the elder. Don't worry. Don't listen to me. Listen to the elder.
Even lead the very elect, but for divine intervention. That Bible I read, and I suspect you also read the same Bible. The Bible that I read in Paul's second letter to Timothy at 3 also tells me that in the last day there shall be a form of Christianity where people will be lovers of themselves. And they would cheat everybody just like Jannes and Jambres did to Moses in the desert. I read that Bible. I also read another Bible verse in the Bible, Romans 1:30, that people shall be lovers of themselves, and they will have committed all sins, and they manufacture new sins like LGBTQ. So nowadays I go to church and pastors are equivocating. My own church, I saw in England the clergy coming complete with a dog's collar, apologizing for people who are engaged in LGBTQ. Saying that God loves them. Yes, he does, but God does not love sin. And the last time I checked, and the Bible has not been revised, one of the reasons why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed was because they engaged in those. So, when you ask me to talk about the role of theology and the problems bedeviling Africa, I'm situating my presentation in those biblical verses, which are clear and unequivocal. Africa and Africans, like all peoples, face numerous problems, and human beings face numerous problems.
That's the first video, guys. That's the first one. Let me play the next one. Let me play the next one. Listen carefully.
Never forget that this continent and our people
Never forget, people. Never forget. Listen to what's about to be said. Never forget. Please, please, please listen to the elder.
Were enslaved. We must never forget that. You must never forget that 18 million Africans were taken from the eastern part of Africa into the Arab world, and men were castrated. You must never forget that. Because the effect of it is with us today.
Facts.
We must never forget that over 12 million Africans were taken to the Caribbean, taken to Europe and America. We must never forget that. We must never forget that in Southern Africa, the apartheid regime was underwritten through verses from the Bible by the Dutch Reformed Church. We must never forget that.
Listen carefully.
Upon a theology based in the Bible. Fact.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button.
We must never forget that the Roman Catholic Church was involved in slavery, and they have apologized for it. We must never forget that the Church of England was involved in slavery, and they have apologized for it using the Bible.
Ooh.
Theology.
Did he just say that the reason how they apologize for slavery, they use the Bible? Did I not do a live talking about that? You see what I'm trying to tell you? You see, those that's been really chosen to do the works is gonna be like-minded individuals. These things just pop up on my phone. I don't be looking for it. I just sit back, and when I'm driving late night, coming home, finish with my client, I don't like to just listen to music. I like to edify myself because I have a whole village to defend and to do the best that I can to ensure that you guys go home. But you don't hate me, though. Let us continue.
Slaves, obey your masters like you obey Christ. In the Bible.
Facts.
Not revised. You go and read it. There is a verse like that. So when we talk about...
That was crazy, right? I know. Let that get you upset. Get mad. I need you to get mad. Get mad. Even if you got to take your frustration out of me because you angry, I'll take that. But when you finish getting mad, I need you to do something about it. Let us continue. This one's a little longer because I went to go
after
take care of
slavery,
something.
Colonization came. And
listen to what he says about colonization. Listen carefully. After slavery, after individual was removed, the people that was left behind, like I said, the people that was left behind are more traumatized than the actual people that moved. Because the people that was removed, like our ancestors, we was removed, but we was young. It was basically we're going to a new location, right? But somebody that's been colonized, not only did they watch their family be removed, they then had to watch their own house that they grew up in. They had to watch themselves be evicted. Yes, we have been evicted from our house. Our family was sent to prison. We in jail. America's prison to us. but our family members was evicted. And they force you to be in the outskirts, living, feeling, and moving like hyenas, while they take all the best lands, while the waterfalls, they're saying that this is mine. While the beautiful mountains that you can climb up, they said, this is mine. The rainforest, places that once upon a time we used to walk freely in, is now being taken over by individuals who's telling you, this is mine. And they got your ass more focused on religion. They got you focusing on me saying that we can't denounce our culture, This is us. We can denounce it because the enemy told you it was bad. Yeah, let us continue.
As I speak to you, Europeans sat in Bali in 1884 and 1885 and divided Africa into spheres of influence. Africa was a hunting ground, divided amongst the British, the Italians, the Dutch, the French, the Belgians, the Germans. And today we are in this assembly. I'm using English language which was imposed on us. And those of you who come from English-speaking countries, you referred to as Anglophone.
Listen carefully.
Those of you who come from French-speaking countries, you are referred to as Francophone. And those from Portuguese are referred to as Lusophone. Soon there'll be Sinophone. We don't speak Yoruba. I'm not speaking Yoruba. I'm not speaking Kiswahili. There is no Kiswahili interpreter here. There are only French and Portuguese and English. Part of the African problem. We are confused.
Mentally challenged.
When my friend resisted their being called a perfect Frenchman, I could understand his anger. Because the colonial project was a dehumanizing and humiliating process. And religion and theology were at the heart of it. That is why
there is
그때는 우리가 미국 놈들이 really desperate 있는지.
The European colonizer, we used to be taught in school that the flag followed the cross. I went to Zanzibar and a young man was taking me through the dungeons and he showed me there was the school where they taught Africans
in the dungeon
that they may use them in their labor. There is the church that they touch their spirit that they may be spiritually confused. And there is the hostel where they treated them that they may use them as labor. I'd never heard such interpretation. That is why when theology came, we were told that in order to be a Christian, you must be John or James or Joel. You cannot be Taiwo now. That is not a Christian name. Christian name must be John, Joseph. Who said? Whose theology is it? Who said?
So everything that I've been saying, who said this? Who's telling us this? Who's feeding us this knowledge and information? How do we say that this is 100% accurate? How? Why? And like I said, the conversations me and my brother had, I can't talk about it on air. Can't. Because it's rooted so deep. But what I can tell you is that we are really mentally challenged. We are a mentally challenged group of people who refuse to acknowledge and accept the fact that we have a condition. We can't accept the fact that we need help. We can't accept the fact that religion is the reason why we are in these circumstances. Because you guys don't understand, religion is what's governing this whole entire world. And when you see that 2/3 will be destroyed, the 2/3 are those that is in some cahoots with religion. And the ones that's going to be left behind are the ones that never stepped foot in a church, are the ones that never ate the bread and drunk the blood and did all this foolishness, participated in the rituals, participated in these holidays. They are the ones that's going to be saved. Nobody else will be saved. They are the ones that's not going to suffer from mental illness. They are the generation that you are witnessing grow up. The generation that's of my age, where you see the governor of Mali, the president, telling the French they got to get up out of here. Me and him is not too far apart in age. That's the fire that the creators is putting on the warriors. The warriors are being awoken. And the warriors are not just sitting on a computer and trying to figure out and tell you, etc., 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 etc. No. The warriors is outside training, getting fit, doing 100 and change. I can still do 100 push-ups straight, getting it in. You see, I went from slim to being in a position where I gotta win. And I'm doing all of that without committing an act of sin. The chosen is here. And if you are listening, it's because you are one of the chosen. What you gonna do about it? I can't tell you what I got in plans. I just spoke to a Nigerian sister today. Shout out to her. And the first thing I said, yo, what's up? Can you connect me with some realtors? I'm like, I'm dead serious. Like I'm ready to move. I need to speak to people. I can't speak to certain individuals because certain individuals are not for your best interests. Remember what I'm about to tell you. $50,000 of US money is like 50 million. You hear me? 50 million in Africa. So when you hear brothers say, yo, man, yeah, we'll do this, we'll do that, just understand that it comes with something. But the mental illness, people, the mental illness, you have to acknowledge that. You want to win? You want to be on the side of righteousness? You want to be a part of this, the real army? You want to be a part of that? Take it upon yourself to denounce these religions. Take it upon yourself to start loving yourself again. Take it upon yourself to say, I don't want anything to do with the enemy. Anybody that had their hands in your demise, that's your enemy. Anybody that got their hands in removing you from your loved ones, that's your enemy. Anybody. Religion has caused the real righteous seed to suffer from something called amnesia. You forgot. You forgive. You believe that there's unity and things is gonna be better. You believe that. But I never will. Because I'm from the streets. Brooklyn, New York. Church Ave to be exact, you hear me? And where I come from, once the enemy, always the enemy. Especially when the enemy killed your family. It's your brother, man, from the motherland. Came to you guys live, man. Once again, continue supporting. Please continue leaving on your feedback. I appreciate the numbers. I appreciate the support. Share this with your family, man. I'm not them, bro. And I'm never gonna conform to them. I would never walk down a path of a religious foundation ever again. And anybody that's with me, you was meant to be with me. Anybody that's questioning and don't agree and don't understand the bigger picture, you are part of the problem. And you will be removed. I tell you this all the time. The coconuts are being shaken off the tree of life. And if it's your first time, like, comment, share, subscribe, please. If it's your first time, I hope it's not your last time. If it's your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time, that means I'm still on your mind. That means we got to stay on that grind and make sure we shine. Shine how? And get kingdom ready. Oh, I'm ready. Are you ready? Are you ready, people? If you are, holla at your boy. If you not, stay up the block. You heard? It's your brother, man, Mr. AKA, Mr. Keep My Foot on you heathens, you he-girls, and the newly installed heathenites next. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? Listen to the creator say one time for the one time. Are you dumb? And I'ma holla at y'all. One.